Welcome if this is your first time on the channel. Today we are listening to Marcellus Wiley critique these big networks for not having the same energy when it comes to people at their networks getting in trouble. Let's listen to what he's saying. Make sure you subscribe. Click that like button because that's how they push the video. Let's go.
ESPN and Fox Sports, quote, want to always talk about allegations of players who playing, trying to hurt their image. Don't care if it's true or not, but
that's facts.
When employees have allegations, they look the other way. What do y'all think about that in terms of our sports media coverage? Because it's weird. You know, the Fox lawsuit that happened, you sitting there like, y'all really gonna act like y'all ain't
say a word.
They ain't say a word. And then, and then now this one. Any problem with that, or are you just like, whatever?
I think naturally people just protect their own. And I think if you get out there and start talking about it too much, now you might open up more lawsuits. So it's better to just keep it under wraps.
That's true too.
And hope that it quietly goes away.
So as a viewer, I'm sitting there saying this, because I agree. That's a smart way to do it. What they say, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will. See, that's the part people forget. Will, mother.
Be used to get
it. We gonna use it. Even if you, and this is why I remember police are saying, dog, don't say nothing. You think you saying something that's gonna help you, we gonna twist that shit. So that's why they say will. So then, but I'm watching, and I'm like watching Fox shows or, you know, watching this, and I'm like, y'all ain't even got a blanket press statement? But then an athlete sneezes, and they sitting there like, we gonna get you. And got you covered and splattered off of potential allegations. Remember when Stephen A. Smith said, I'm bringing the same energy like you did with Deshaun Watson to the kicker, Justin Tucker. Which he didn't, because that was the last time I heard about
That's a shot
on there. But the point is, I'm sitting there like, it's kind of weird to me. I don't trust watching TV when you can't tell me, yoo-hoo, the same thing I just killed them for, they after me for, but we'll move on from that. They don't even give you that.
I think the simplest way of saying it is if you talk about the people at your network, it'll take your money. If you talk about them athletes, it'll make you money.
Ooh, that's a good, simple way of breaking it down. He threw a shot at Stephen A. Smith too. Wiley did. That was crazy. But I agree with what they saying. But the problem is we are in a day and age to where you got people on the internet that can grab ESPN and put a side-by-side of how they covered things and go, hey, listen to how they covered this. Listen to how they covered that. And it makes them look bad. I think these networks, whether it's ESPN or FS1, would have looked way better and would have elevated. The actual network and whatever show that spoke about it would have elevated if they just came out and been real and talked about it. I literally think it would have helped the show instead of going, nah, we ain't gonna say nothing, because it comes off as fake and we lose trust because you definitely say something when these athletes get into stuff consistently. They be on them. If one of the athletes, especially a big athlete, get into some stuff, a popular athlete, they will talk about that thing every day of the week. They go, all right, Stephen A., you get your opportunity to talk about it. We're going to bring Jay Will on. Let him speak about it. If it's about basketball, we're going to bring a couple other people on. They going to talk about it. Shannon going to speak on it on Friday. You know, they let that thing out where everybody get their turn to talk about a player. That's how they do it, to make it last longer. First, Stephen A. say it, and then they give it to somebody else, or on FS1, Colin to speak about it. Then he gonna bring a guest on Tuesday. They'll speak about it. You know what I'm saying? They'll keep that thing going. If y'all had that same energy with your own network, it probably would elevate, but it'll be real. Like if y'all just have a real conversation about the different lawsuits that didn't happen, that didn't became public. Now, if it ain't public, I wouldn't bring it up. That's just stupid. But if it's public and you seeing all these individual entertainers make content on it, dog, say something. Say something, baby. All you got to do is say something. You ain't got to go super hard, but say something. Say your opinions on it, you know. We need more of that anyway. And, you know, we also need for these big networks to not just suspend people for allegation. either. Let that person address it and keep pushing, because it's just an allegation. We all done seen these people lie. We have. We done seen women lie. Women lie. The Duke lacrosse thing when I was younger, that was so big, dog. That was super big. The girl that lied, she came out and said she lied recently. I said, dang, she lied about that? That's crazy. Them dudes lost their careers and their lives, and it definitely affected them for her lying about it. Crazy. But they lie too. So when it's an allegation, don't suspend nobody. Don't get rid of no, keep working, dog, until things get hashed out. And then if it get hashed out similar to how Jonathan Major's stuff got hashed out, let them keep working. Once we seen Jonathan Majors running down the street, he breathing all hard, you know what I'm saying? He getting chased by this chick. Why y'all firing him? The charges that he got wasn't like they charged him because he was, going crazy on her in any capacity. It's like, yo, dog, keep letting them rock. People ain't as upset when you actually see the evidence. You know what I'm saying? And then we have got to a point to where people are more like, hey, just believe all women. People ain't like that no more. Because we done seen, hold on. Oh, women lie too. You ain't never seen Maury? Ain't never seen Jerry Springer, any of them shows? They be lying. They be on the show, any of them court shows, Judge Judy or whatever. He's the father. I know he's the father. Men lie too. I'm not saying man just believe man either. I'm just saying nobody should be fired. Women shouldn't be fired either if, they get alleged stuff by other women, like how Joy Taylor's situation was. I don't think Joy should have been fired or suspended or anything either. But I don't think that should be happening to man either, because you watch these shows, people lie. You know what I'm saying? I was going down the route with the judge and the paternity test stuff where women no, he's the father. You look at them, they'll cry beforehand and all that. You're like, oh man, she telling the truth. She gotta be telling the truth. He's not the father. So everybody lies. Just let it play out. And if it ain't too bad of a situation like the Jonathan Major stuff, let people rock. That's my opinion on it. But y'all let me know, what do you think about Marcus Wiley coming out, because he's coming out and being critical of ESPN and FS1, and I appreciate him for doing that, being a bigger guy in the media doing that. But y'all let me know, what do you think about ESPN and FS1 being silent on these issues? Do you think it'd be a good thing if they just came out and had an honest conversation on TV for once? Put it down in the comments. As always, if this is your first time here, make sure you sub to the channel. Check out the other content. Click that like button. Y'all be easy. Be safe.